Okay, let's review Creativity 101. Let's consider this a software update. We'll remove a few bugs. We'll add a few features that makes you a more conscious creator of the rest of your life. Now, what do we need to know about creativity in the very beginning is that it's simply the manifestation of something from nothing. We cannot help ourselves but be creative because we're children of creation. We're sparks of original light. We're incarnations of original thought. Every atom in our bodies was forged in the Big Bang. And I am here to say that because we're children of the cosmos, which is ever-expanding, explosive creation in itself, that we, by default, are creative and can't help but be creative. So what is the process of how to get something real that was once only a thought or an image in our mind? And that process is a process of mind, body, and spirit. So it's a total engagement of our total beings. And the process is first thought gets implanted from, you might say, intelligence at large. Thought enters into our mind, hundreds, thousands of them every day. You know, you decide which ones you're going to mess with. You're going to engage with that one and not that one. And we select that consciously. And then it moves down into the area of our heart, where our emotions get involved. And then we begin to feel joy and delight about the thing that we're going to be manifesting. And then we begin to speak about it. And our thoughts, our feelings, and our words actually propel that thing into reality. And you have all done this millions of times in your lives. So this is just remedial, actually, for you. But we run into a problem because when we enter the world, we're like lightning bolts of imagination. We're unlimited. We're a raging fire of possibility. And then, well, let's just say we might have a particular radiance like a 100-watt bulb. Let's just say we all come in 100 watts, bright as the dickens. And then people start messing with us. They're shaping us how they want us. They're giving us their thoughts. And we start collecting this debris from other people's bad thoughts that are inherited and that don't belong to us. And it looks like this. Our 100-watt bulbs down 80 watts, 50 watts, 40 watts. You have all had lunch with 10-watt people. And by now, they're not your friends anymore, because life's too short. So how do I know this? I know it because I'm born gay. People who are born gay know things. Especially if you're born into a Catholic family, into a homophobic culture. Then your radiance gets diminished over and over, day after day. By 6th grade, this kid's trying to figure out how to commit suicide. How does that happen? How does it happen that we have so many kids, so many young adults despairing? It's because nobody knows how to clear off their debris. We have to learn. You know, a great mystic said, the process of enlightenment is a process of subtraction, not addition. You don't need to know anything more than you know right now to be on your path of enlightenment. But you have to get rid of all those inherited thoughts that don't serve you. And that's what you come to these talks for. Trying to get rid of bad thoughts. You know, my mom is one of the most creative people I know, but she inherited this thought that she's not good enough for this or that. She says to me after her grandson Chad is born, "Oh no, by the time Chad's old enough to care about my life, my childhood stories, I'm going to be dead or too senile to remember them." So I say, "Well, write him a book." "Oh, I can't write a book," she says. Well, we all know that voice. I said, "Well, can you write him a letter?" Oh, she goes, "Anybody can write a letter." Well, then here. So I schlep out my old Macintosh computer, give her this little disk, say, "Put it in the computer, type on this, type them up 10 or 12 letters, and I'll help you make a book." So she takes the thing home, couple weeks, hibernating away. By the time she gives me the disc back, it's got like 37 letters on it, and this is the book we made. Letters to Chad. Memories of her being the oldest girl of 14 kids on a dairy farm in upstate New York. Now she knows she's a writer. Now she knows she can write books. Next thing I know, help me with a biography on your father. Oh, now I got to do the book on the history of our family reunions. I was her publisher. I had to tell her to stop. I had my own books to write. So this is how it works. She had a thought. It gave her great joy to think about, oh, Chad, knowing the stories of my childhood. She talks about it to me. It gets manifested. It sells out immediately at the family reunion. By the time she died, she's in the 4th printing. Of course, we only printed 25 at a time, but still. She died an author. It's just like these guys. They have an idea. They talk about it. Oh, they feel it. They feel it. They declare their independence. They write their constitutions. Next thing you know, we're living in 50 states paying taxes. This is how it works. Thoughts, feelings, talkie-talkie, reality. It's just how it works. Because it's a biological process for us, just like trees. And don't forget this, because we're nature. We're nature, and we're just like trees. And you know from science class, trees have this magical ingredient called chlorophyll. Helps them do this magical turning of the invisible sunlight and air into food and nutrients for the whole tree and the root system. Well, what's that called? Photosynthesis. And what do humans do? I call it infosynthesis, because we're converting thoughts into reality all the time. It's human experience, and we turn it into inspiration for each other, for the good of the whole, because we're born for the good of the whole. And what happens when we do that is good for us. It's where we derive our meaning, our joy, and our sense of purpose. The more aware we are of how we create what we experience, the more gifts we bring to the harvest of turning our human experience into wisdom. It happens for us. This day happened for me some years ago outside of Death Valley. When I see a flock of birds, in their murmuration, is what they call it, where all these birds suddenly act in the same way at the same time. And I was so fascinated by that. I get out of my car. I parked over in the breakdown lane. Get out of my car, lean up against the hood of my car, and start to videotape the birds. Next thing I know, everything goes black because somebody hit my car from behind doing 75 miles an hour. So what happens is, of course, I get thrown far away into the hardscrabble desert. My car lands on top of me, and I'm unconscious. And when I come to, I think, oh my God, I'm going to have to shimmy out of here. So I just shimmy out. But what happens is I'm impaled under the muffler. This is Death Valley in August. Never go there. Under the muffler, and I can't move. So I know now this is my last few moments on earth. I try to be brave, full of anxiety, try to summon up the courage to let my body go consciously. Just get to that point, announce to whomever, whatever, here I come, here I come. And I felt it. I felt my soul go right out through the soles of my feet. This little sound. Then I hear the voices. Oh my God, is somebody there? Is somebody alive? Right back in. I'm right back in my body. I'm going like, I'm here. I'm alive. Where are you? Where are you? I'm under the car. I hear their feet. I hear the sound. I see their skinny little legs. They're right out in front of me by my back tire. Wait there. Wait there, they say. We'll go get help. So this voice comes out of me, unlike any voice I've ever heard, says to them, you are the help. Just lift up the car. They look at each other, no way, man, we can't lift up this car. You are the help. Lift up the car. Next thing I know, the car's raised up like it weighed like a feather. Two hands come out, pull my hands, pull me out, and those two men saved my life that day. But all they knew was all they heard all their lives. Help's up there, help's out there. Because nobody tells us. Because we get dusty bulbs. Because of bad thinking from other places. But the reality is, we are the help. We know that now. You know, it used to be okay. I grew up singing, he's got the whole world in his hands. But it's not appropriate anymore. Because we have created a world where human beings have the capacity to destroy it. We've made this world with our thoughts, our feelings, our talk. And so it's not appropriate to sing anybody else has the world in his hands, because it's in our hands. So to think of ourselves now like satellite dishes, to mind at large, to think of ourselves as beings in a conversation with creation itself, beings who are here in order to protect and make safe this world for the beings to come. Because we have that in our creative power. So I say that the spiritual issue here for us is that our creativity is our spirituality in running shoes. It's what are you committed to? Spirituality has little to do with religion. Religion is what you learned as a kid. It was inherited. It was a body of doctrine that may or may be moot for you now. But your spirituality is something that you're creating every day based on your commitments. Whether you take a stand for something, whether you are for justice or for peace, and how that's evidenced by your actions. That's your spirituality. And so what we're saying here is that the only thing that we need to do in order to create A, the lives you want to have, and B, the world we want to have, is to be conscious about what we're for, how we speak about it, and how we imagine ourselves as peacemakers and justice makers in this world, knowing that those steps not only create for us a better life, but create for these kids to come a better life. And when they Google you in 10 years or 20 years, you want to hope there's going to be some evidence there that you showed up. That you showed up for yourself as a role model of conscious creativity and created the masterpiece you came here to have as your personal life. And that you co-created with me and all your co-creators here in this town, a society and a community that you can look back and say, this place looks like it looks because I was here. That's what we're wanting to do. That's the power of creativity. And this has been your software update. Amen.